Welcome back to the Heart House. We are in part 6 of this rental renovation. We've come so far in the past few weeks. We've gotten a lot done, new floorings, new paint, new fixtures, the whole 9 yards. In today's video, we're gonna be focusing in the kitchen, putting in some brand new cabinets, some new doors, some new hardware, revamping the whole space. We've got a lot of work to do to get this kitchen renter ready, so let's go ahead and dive into the video. Today I'll be focusing in the kitchen, so we'll get the baseboards and the quarter round put down there. And then the washer and dryer and dishwasher, they're gonna be delivered sometime this afternoon. So we kind of have to get that space cleaned up. And then this morning, I also stopped by the cabinetry shop that my friend works at that was able to build some cabinets for us. And we've got some cabinets. This is gonna be the one that goes above the dishwasher. And then this is gonna be a bottom cabinet that goes below it. The refrigerator's moved out because we've been painting and then I gotta put the baseboards in. So I'm not gonna move it back just for this, but. And then he made it a little bit smaller just because we weren't sure the thickness of the flooring. And of course the floor is so whatever. So I may have to shim it up a good bit. We'll see. We'll see about all that. So right here at the refrigerator, I think you may have seen it in a previous video. Look at the wall. There's like, what in the world's going on with that wall? There's like this massive bow outward and inward right there.
Yeah.
The wall buckles out like right here at the bottom and it buckles out really bad. So if I were to run this baseboard all the way through, it wouldn't mold itself to the wall at all. It'd be really bad. So my solution, I'm only taking it till about halfway, kind of where the wall starts to buckle out. And then I'm gonna pick up right over here on the back side of it. So this is not connected, but it bypasses that section of the wall that's really buckled. I'll run my quarter round, instead of going behind the refrigerator, I'll just run the quarter round up against the edge of the refrigerator. All right, so I'm kind of switching back and forth between the flooring and the cabinet, but I was waiting to hear back from Adrian on this. So I think what happened is the previous cabinet, as you can see, there's a hole in the drywall. I think it was inset. So that back left corner was inset into the drywall, which explains why there was so much caulk in there. So I put the new one up and it didn't quite fit. It was like 35 and 3/16. And so I needed a little bit extra to get it to fit between the window casing there. Instead of sending it back to Adrian and getting that fixed, that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna cut the height of our new cabinet, which is 29 3/4. So I'm gonna remove this portion of the drywall right here. And then what we'll do is the way the cabinet will sit will be just a skosh that way, if that makes sense. Just kind of tucked away into the wall so that we can make up that difference there. I don't like that, but that's I think that's what we're gonna have to do, because it's gonna be too much trouble to send this back, get this shortened up. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. All right, I just got a call from Lowe's. They're on the way. The delivery guys are coming with the dishwasher, washer, and dryer, so kind of just waiting until they get here. But I've got everything cleaned up and ready for them to come in. It is an LG This was on sale at Lowe's. The set was $650 for each. So what is that? $1,300 plus tax. Pretty good deal. It's a nice washer dryer. I think it's gonna look good with the rest of the kitchen once we're done in here with everything. I am gonna have to get a new dryer vent, because I don't think it's gonna reach, and then we gotta figure out where it's running and all that stuff. Gotta get this thing in position here. Okay. I definitely should not be doing that. I'm not lifting, I'm moving. Apparently lifting heavy stuff can like blow your stitches out or something.
So good.
I don't know where the ductwork is over there. I know I want it to be like, I will figure it out. Will it fit with the cabinet? I think I'm gonna have to get the cabinet out. Oh, I just cut myself. Okay. Ow. Oh, that's a deep cut. Oh, that's a freaking deep cut. Crap. I really need to get a first aid kit. Dude, like sliced my finger right open. There we go. That's not how you do things, folks. So there you have it, guys. Dishwasher is in, and it's pretty tight. You can see there's not much of a reveal there. And then even the same thing right here. Adrian did a really good job with this base. Really razor thin tight down there at the bottom. So once we figure out the countertop situation, what we're gonna do here, we can continue it on all the way to the wall and get the dishwasher attached to the countertop and that attached to the countertop as well. All right, that's gonna do it for today. Pretty tired. I need to go deal with this wound because it's still bleeding. It hurts. Adrian did say he was gonna be able to tackle the vanity maybe midweek, and then we should have the doors by the weekend. So we'll start to kind of work into the kitchen as we already have today, obviously, but we'll continue working in here tomorrow, get the rest of the trim work in here done, and we gotta figure out our countertops.
3 weeks later.
Today we're skipping forward in the timeline just a little bit. The doors are complete for our cabinets. We've already painted the cabinets. We've already got the crown molding installed. We did that a few days ago, and it's looking really good. Now we're just doing some final touch-ups with paint before we install. Let's go check out the doors. Here are a few of the doors that Adrian has made for our cabinets, and we're ready to get going on those. Adrian also made a couple of vanity doors, but we'll get to that at another time. So again, to reiterate, these are the old cabinets here, and all we've done is clean the shelves, the interior. We cleaned all that out, wiped it down, degreased it, all that good stuff, and then just put a fresh coat of paint. And you can see it definitely makes a huge difference. They don't look as grody and as old. And adding the crown molding, just a simple pattern, simple profile, definitely adds to the character of these cabinets. And one thing that I really appreciate Adrian doing is you can see the texture of the grain. This is an oak material. Adrian used an oak material for the face frames to match the old cabinets as well. So while these two are newer cabinets, they fit these, and you would probably never know that these weren't all brand new cabinets, except for like if you looked at the interior of this one definitely looks a lot newer than those. And he also sent us a box of, all right, some nice soft closed hinges that we're gonna be installing today.
Say these cabinets are gonna make a difference.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
The more modernized style.
Seeing the before and after between what was here and now what is here that's the game changer. So we've got all the doors situated and in place for where they're going to be installed. So next thing we got this massive box of hinges, and we're just going to go through here and put them on the doors.
Yep.
So we've got these nice soft closed hinges that Adrian has provided for us, and you put these pieces that go up against the cabinet or the face frame of the cabinet first. We attach those first, and then what you can do is you can kind of set your hinge into the hole, and then you can kind of adjust it based on eyeballing this part being up against the door. That way you're not taking your time. A little bit of a quicker process, and then we can move on to the next one and get those suckers home. So I've been working on this Lazy Susan for quite some time now. Sasha's got both of these doors in, and then these two. Unfortunately, the cabinets are quite crooked, as you can see. With that comes, you can see the deviation here, and it gets larger over there. So while the doors are set to a 1/2 inch overlay, they still come out crooked, and so we had to make quite a few adjustments on this one to get that reveal looking normal. Working on the next one, and we'll try to match all of these horizontally. So they may not be perfectly at a 1/2 inch overlay, but we'll get them to looking pretty close. So essentially what Sasha's doing to get this started is just measuring a 1/2 inch up from the top of the face frame. So like right there, somewhere in that ballpark, and then setting the door in there based off of that height. Getting one screw in, adjusting as needed, and then doing a second screw. That gets it to the 1/2 inch overlay on both sides, and then adding the other screws, making adjustments along the way. This was a technique that we learned from Adrian a couple weeks ago. He's been doing cabinetry work for 20 years, so I trust his judgment as opposed to any kind of jig or anything like that, and it works pretty well. There you go. I can already tell it's gonna be,
the exact same problem.
it's gonna pitch down again, but that's okay. As long as it lines up with the rest of them.
These two won't line up?
Yeah, we need to make those line up.
And that's gonna be like...
We will just do our best here. Sasha's gonna help me with the Lazy Susan here because we got it in 2 pieces and it doesn't quite fit, so having a hard time getting this in here, but I need like a 3rd and a 4th hand. To putting in the drawers and the faces for the drawers. This took forever. I'll show you in a minute. We gotta make some adjustments. And Desmond did all of the work. I am the helper. Now we gotta do the face frames for our drawers, and then we're gonna move on to the hardware. And the hardware should go a little bit quicker. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we can just kind of eyeball it.
It looks much...
All right, we just finished up putting the face frames for these faux doors or drawers, and then these on here as well. We did have to make some adjustments down here again, and then that caused us to have to shift this over just a skosh so it would line up. You can't really tell, but that's okay. No one will ever know except for you, because I just told you. Here's our hardware. We've got about 30 of these suckers, just like that. Somewhere in that ballpark, all black, no knobs, just 4-inch handles or 5-inch handles, one of the two. All right, so this is the Craig
I'm not even holding it right.
cabinet jig that we're going to be using. The handles are 4 inches and then about 3 inches between the center points. So obviously we'll use this to set our width gauge. And then what we do, we have to find the width of our rail here, or our stile, which is about 2 1/4, a little over, so 1 1/8. So we know what our center point is. Let me show you this. This is where it gets deep. This is where it gets real deep. Okay. This is a nice little bit of trickery. So then what we do, we know we want the bottom of our handle to kind of sit even with our rail. What we'll do is we take that and then we butt it up there and then we mark the center of where the hole is for this bottom. So that's where that's where that first hole is going to be. And then what we do, we take our jig and we come in here and look through that bottom hole, line that up, and then we'll take this and butt it up under there. And now we've got 2 different jigs, because this one you can only reference from the side. There's nothing underneath, so you can't get a side measurement and a bottom or top measurement. So we're using this as kind of a secondary jig. So now what we can do is we've got masking tape or painter's tape all across all of the doors, and we'll just go through, we'll set that, and then one of us will mark the hole.
There you go.
Yep, so now she's got that lined up. So we'll come in here. Check it. Bingo! And there is where we're going to drill. And that should line us up with the bottom of our handle right there at the top of our rail. And there's the first one. Looking pretty good. Pretty dead on. It's really kind of hard to tell because of how that sticks out, whether or not that's perfectly lined up with that, but it doesn't have to be perfectly lined up. That's just kind of our reference point. That's our goal. So now Sasha is going to do the rest of them. It truly is incredible to look at these cabinets and think some of them are not brand new, but you'd never know unless you opened the door and you looked at the shelves and you're like, oh, those are different. But we could not be more pleased, excited, and happy with the transformation that's taken place in here. Just adding new doors, new hardware, a couple of cabinets, it completely transforms this space. Huge thank you to Adrian, one of our good friends, that was able to make these doors for us and a couple of the cabinets. Really could not have done this without you. This kitchen space would not be what it is and would not have come together as efficiently and quickly as it did without you. So thank you. We are drawing to a close on this renovation. There's still a few things we have to tackle. The bathroom. We also put new countertops in, but we're gonna make a video on that as well. So stay tuned for that. Should be next week. And yeah, we're just gonna keep grinding away, making it look better than it was and going from a grade F or D to an A+, a 100. And you guys, if you've been here, you've been a part of the process, you've seen the transformation thus far. Make sure you like, subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. Check out the playlist below if you've not watched all of the videos in this series, starting at episode 1. There's a link down there. Go check it out, and we will see you in the next video.